Yankees fans, it's getting real right now. After back-to-back losses to the Toronto Blue Jays, New York is staring straight at elimination, and the only way to survive is to pull off 3 straight wins. 3 games. 3 chances to rewrite the narrative. It's been a brutal start to the American League Division Series, and the atmosphere around this team feels heavy. The energy that usually surrounds the Yankees in October is filled instead with frustration, disbelief, and a sense that things might be slipping away. But baseball has always been about momentum, and sometimes all it takes is one night, one inning, one swing to flip the story completely on its head. The truth is, those first 2 games weren't just losses. They were complete meltdowns. The Yankees got blown out, outplayed, and out-hustled in every aspect of the game. Most of their runs came too late to matter, almost like the team was just trying to save face instead of fighting for the win. Watching it unfold, it felt like the kind of performance that breaks a fan's spirit. But this is the postseason, and the same game that can crush you one day can make you believe again the next. And now, as the series shifts to the Bronx, there's at least a flicker of hope left to hold on to. Aaron Boone has been under fire all season long. Fans have questioned his decisions, his lineups, and even his ability to lead this roster when the lights are brightest. But after Game 2, Boone spoke with the calm of a man who refuses to surrender. He said that when you lose 2 games like that on the road, it can feel like the world is falling apart. But when just one game, one single game, and everything changes. The needle moves, and suddenly you're not drowning, you're swimming again. And he's right. Baseball is wild like that. A team can look dead for 72 hours and then, out of nowhere, come back swinging. Cody Bellinger echoed that same confidence. He reminded everyone that he's been in this position before, down 2 games to none, counted out, and yet he's seen how quickly baseball can flip. He said it perfectly. You can't let the past affect you. You take it day by day, pitch by pitch, inning by inning. And that's the mentality the Yankees need now more than ever. One win at Yankee Stadium could change the tone of this entire series. It's not like this team hasn't been here before. In fact, history shows the Yankees have come back from this exact situation multiple times. 6 different times, New York has managed to rally back from a 2-game deficit in a postseason series. They did it in 1956 against the Dodgers, again in 1958 against the Braves, in 1978 once more versus the Dodgers, and in 1996 when they stunned the Braves after falling behind early. They pulled it off again in 2001 against the Oakland Athletics, and most recently, in 2017 against Cleveland, when a young rookie named Aaron Judge helped lead that comeback with pure energy and power. So yeah, it's been done before, and that history matters. The problem this year isn't just the scoreboard. It's the lack of production across the lineup. Outside of Aaron Judge, the bats have gone cold at the worst possible time. Ben Rice has been decent, hitting the ball with some consistency and putting up a respectable average, but the rest of the order feels like it's sleepwalking through October. Cody Bellinger, the guy the Yankees expected to bring playoff experience and clutch hitting, has struggled badly against left-handed pitching. Trent Grisham hasn't found his rhythm either, and Giancarlo Stanton, a player known for his playoff heroics, has been almost invisible at the plate. He's swinging through pitches he normally crushes, and that thunderous power we associate with playoff G just hasn't shown up. Jazz Chisholm has been quiet too, clearly uncomfortable facing lefties. Ryan McMahon's been okay. Anthony Volpe has shown flashes of why fans love his energy, and Paul Goldschmidt hasn't delivered the kind of at-bats New York needs from a veteran presence. Austin Wells is fighting hard, but hasn't been able to drive the ball the way he can. It's been a frustrating chain reaction. When one guy gets on, the next one can't bring him home. When a rally starts to build, it dies with a strikeout or a weak ground ball. The only constant has been Aaron Judge, who continues to hit like a man possessed. He's been the one reliable spark, the player who gives you hope that maybe, just maybe, things can still turn around. But even Judge isn't immune to baseball's cruel timing. In Game 2, he had the bases loaded, the perfect chance to flip the momentum, and struck out. It was just one at-bat, but captured the Yankees' entire postseason so far. Opportunity missed. Still, Anyone who's followed this sport long enough knows that a team this talented doesn't just stay down forever. Sometimes it takes getting punched in the mouth to finally wake up. On the other side, Toronto has been on fire. Practically every hitter in their lineup is red hot right now. Guys like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Dalton Varsho are seeing the ball like it's a beach ball, and everything they touch seems to find grass or go over the fence. But even that kind of run doesn't last forever. Baseball has a funny way of balancing things out. So the question becomes, can the Yankees hang around long enough for the Blue Jays' bats to cool off? Because if Toronto starts missing instead of mashing, the door opens wide again. Pitching, though, is where things have really fallen apart. Max Fried hasn't looked like himself, posting an earned run average well above 6. Will Warren gave up a crushing grand slam that felt like the nail in the coffin for Game 2. And Luke Weaver, well, let's just say it's a small victory that his earned run average is no longer infinite after his latest outing. The bullpen hasn't been sharp either. Too many walks, too many misplaced fastballs, and not nearly enough swing and miss stuff. When the pitching falters, the whole team loses its rhythm. But here's the thing, the Yankees still have the arms to make a stand. Carlos Rodon can be dominant when he's locked in. He's got that ace energy, the kind of presence that can silence a lineup and flip the series with one outing. If Rodon delivers a gem in the next game and the bats wake up just a little, suddenly you've got a 2-1 series with the crowd in full voice, and all the pressure shifts to Toronto. That's how quickly October can change. One win, and belief floods back into the building. And it's not just about talent, it's about leadership. Earlier in the year, when the Yankees were sliding, Giancarlo Stanton gave a speech that reportedly lit a fire under the team. Players described it as a wake-up call, the kind of message that reminded everyone what it means to wear the pinstripes. Aaron Judge called it powerful. Teammates said it was raw and necessary. That moment sparked a turnaround in the regular season, and maybe it's time for something like that again. Sometimes you need that closed-door meeting, that honest talk between players to reset the energy. The Yankees have been through too much this season to just fade away quietly. They've dealt with injuries, with slumps, with critics tearing them apart, but they've also shown flashes of being a legitimate championship team. They've beaten the best before, and they've done it with the same group of guys. That's why fans still believe, even when the numbers say otherwise. Because this team, when it clicks, is dangerous. So now the Bronx waits. The lights will be brighter than ever, the crowd louder than it's been all year. Every pitch will matter, every mistake magnified. It's do or die. But that's when legends are made. The Yankees have been counted out before and have turned it around before. History says it's possible. The question is whether this group has the fire to do it again. When you really stop to think about it, everything the Yankees are facing right now comes down to mindset. Baseball is such a mental game. Confidence isn't just nice to have, it's everything. You can have the best roster in the world, but if your players step onto that field doubting themselves, the game is already half lost. That's why so much of this fight isn't about numbers or stats anymore. It's about belief. It's about whether this team still has that internal fire to prove everyone wrong. The Yankees clubhouse knows the weight of this moment. Every player feels it. You can sense the frustration, the tension, the urgency. But there's also something else brewing in there, defiance. That quiet, stubborn voice that says, not yet. You can see it in Aaron Judge's body language, the way he walks to the plate, the way he locks in during batting practice. You can feel it in the veterans too, guys like Stanton and Bellinger, who've been through October battles before and understand that pressure can either crush you or make you. And if there's one thing about this Yankees team, it's that they don't go down without a fight. They've shown it time and time again. Think about that 2017 team that clawed their way back against Cleveland when nobody believed. That spark started with one swing, Greg Bird launching that moonshot into right field. The whole momentum of the series shifted right there. The crowd roared, the players believed again, and suddenly it felt like the Bronx was alive. That's what one game can do in baseball. It doesn't erase the past, but gives you a reason to look forward. This current team has all the ingredients to make that happen again. They have the star power, the pitching depth, and the history behind them. But they need execution. They need the energy, the focus, and the fight that defines great postseason runs. It's not about being perfect, it's about being relentless. The Yankees have to play like every pitch is a chance to change the story, because at this point, that's exactly what it is. The good news is the stage is set for a turnaround. Back at home, under the lights of Yankee Stadium, everything feels different. That crowd can shake the ground when it gets going. It's not just noise, it's energy that players can feel in their bones. When a team's struggling, sometimes all it takes is that first spark from the fans, that first big play to bring everyone to life. If Rodon goes out there and deals, if Judge connects on a home run early, the entire momentum of the series can swing instantly. Suddenly, it's not about survival anymore. It's about the hunt. Aaron Boone knows that too. He's been criticized for a lot of decisions this year, but one thing he's never lacked is belief in his players. He's been around this team long enough to know what they're capable of when they're cornered. Sometimes, that's when they're at their most dangerous. Boone said after the last game that he still believes they're capable of beating anyone if they just play their brand of baseball. That's what he's hanging on to, and that's what the players have to feed off of. There's also the leadership factor that can't be ignored. Guys like Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton set the tone. When they hustle, when they speak up, when they take accountability, everyone else follows. Earlier in the year, Stanton's speech lit a fire under this team. It reminded everyone that wearing the pinstripes means more than just being part of a roster. It means carrying history on your back. Maybe now is the time for another one of those moments behind closed doors, where players look each other in the eye and decide what kind of ending they want to write for this season. Because the truth is, the Yankees are still alive. Barely yes, but alive. And that means there's still a chance. It's not about logic or statistics anymore. It's about grit, pride, and a refusal to quit. Baseball history is full of impossible comebacks that started just like this, with everyone doubting, with every headline saying it's over, and then somehow, against all odds, the team that wouldn't die ends up celebrating on the field. That's what Yankee fans are clinging to right now. The idea that as long as there's another game on the schedule, there's hope. And that hope matters. It keeps the energy alive. It's what makes people show up to the stadium, what makes them still believe that something magical can happen under those bright October lights. Every dynasty, every great moment in baseball history started with belief before it became reality. But the Yankees have to make that belief count. They need their big names to deliver. They need Judge to stay hot. They need Stanton to find that rhythm again and crush one into the second deck. They need Bellinger to remind everyone why he's a former MVP. They need Rodon to be the ace that he can be, and they need every single player to understand that no one else is going to save them. This is their moment. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. The New York Yankees are no strangers to making waves in the baseball world, but the latest development has fans buzzing like never before. In what could be one of the most surprising moves of the season, the Yankees have reportedly announced the signing of Japanese pitching sensation YOSHINOBU YAMAMOTO, and whispers are already circulating about the immediate impact he could have on the Bronx Bombers rotation. Yamamoto, a standout in Nippon professional baseball with a reputation for blazing fastballs and devastating breaking pitches, has long been a target for Major League scouts. Yet, until now, the idea of him heading to New York seemed more like speculation than reality. Sources close to the team suggest that the Yankees moved quickly and decisively, aiming to bolster a pitching staff that has faced inconsistency over the past months. Fans are already imagining Yamamoto slotting seamlessly into the starting rotation, potentially shaking up the dynamics that have defined the Yankees season so far. The buzz isn't just about his talent, though. Observers are speculating about how quickly Yamamoto will adapt to Major League Baseball's intensity and the pressure cooker of New York City. Some insiders whisper that his poise and maturity on the mound, honed in high-stakes Japanese league matchups, might translate into immediate results, giving the Yankees a new ace and altering the trajectory of their playoff hopes. Meanwhile, debates are raging online. Will he start right away, or will the team ease him in? How will this signing affect the pitching hierarchy? And, perhaps most tantalizing, Could Yamamoto become the face of Yankees' resurgence in the months to come? Despite the excitement, there's a cautious undertone to the rumors. The Yankees are notorious for their big moves, and every high-profile signing carries expectations as heavy as the city itself. Still, if the early chatter is any indication, the baseball world is watching closely, and Yamamoto's debut may be the most anticipated story in the sport this season. As the team prepares to unveil him, fans can only speculate, debate, and dream. The Yankees may have just added a game-changer to their rotation, and the burble in the sports community is deafening. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.